Assalamualaikum everyone. Today we would like to present to you about connecting Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Sciences with administration building through network. On this part, we would like to present to you about a subtopic which is Introduction, Objective Task Delegation, Step-by-Step on Setup Network, Step-by-Step Process, Sharing File or Message, Testing Connectivity, Network Monitoring Tools, and Conclusion.
For the introduction, the numerous methods and technologies used to connect computers and other equipment to allow them to interact and share resources are referred to as networking technology. Routers, switches, cables, and protocols are examples of both hardware and software components. The Internet is the most frequently utilized networking technology. It is a worldwide network of interconnected computers that allow individuals and organizations all over the globe to communicate and share the information. Local are network LANs, wide area networks WANs, and wireless network are examples of networking technologies, WLANs. Networking technology is important in modern society because it allows the movement of information and resources between individual and organization as well as promotes communication and cooperation in variety of professions and businesses. It had a tremendous influence on how we communicated and interacted with one another. People may now contact and communicate with one another regardless of their location or time zone, thanks to the internet. This has resulted in the formation of global communities and the emergence of new opportunities for businesses and individuals worldwide. Furthermore, computer networks play an important role in educational institutions by linking the student and the teachers, as well as offering access to the online resources such as libraries and online classes. Overall, networking technology has significantly increased communication and cooperation across a wide range of sectors and businesses.
Objective. First, to set up a wired network and also a wireless network. Hence, we would demonstrate all the processes. Second, set up the said network using the network simulation software, which is the packet tracer. Third, demonstrate how to check the connection between all the devices in the network by using command prompt. Fourth, demonstrate how to check the connection between all the devices in the network by using command prompt such as process of sharing file. Lastly, show the network monitoring tools that we use to monitor our network. Task delegation. My name is Kamar Helmi bin Ahmad Zahari. I'm doing research and write on network monitoring tools, completing report and slides. For video parts, I will present about objective, ping to test the connection, monitoring tools, and conclusion. Those are my friends. Nick Muhammad Izami bin Nick Amran. He doing research and coordinate on network setup, topologies, and configuration. Configure network using packet tracer. And he will present about introduction and configuring a router. Next is Shasha Amira binti Muhammad Rozi. She create share link for reports and slide presentation. Completing reports and slide. For presentation, she will present about completing cables and step-by-step send the message. Lastly is Rohadibah binti Muhammad Shah. She configure network using packet tracer, completing reports and slides, and present about configure router R1 and configure router SKM buildings.
For analysis and technology use, we use the routers, access point, switch, cable connection, and also the copper wire cable. A router is a type of computer network device that sends data packet between computer and network. On the internet, router handle traffic direction tasks. Two or more data lines from distinct IP network are connected to a router. When a data packet is entered on one of the lines, the router scans the network address information in the packet header to ascertain the final destination. Following that, it uses data from each routing table or routing policy to direct the packet to the following network on its route. A network switch, also known as switching hub or bridging hub, is networking hardware that join device on a networking hardware that connect device switching to receive and forward data to the intended device. Packet switching is a method of grouping data transmitted over a digital network into packets. A wireless access point (WAP) is a piece of networking hardware used in computer networking that allows other Wi-Fi devices to connect to a wired network. An access point (AP) establishes a direct connection to a wired local area network, usually Ethernet, and then the AP offers wireless connections for other devices to utilize that wired connection using wireless LAN technology, generally as a Wi-Fi.
Next, cable connection. We are using two types of connection which are wired and wireless. Wired connection consists of cable connection that are connected using serial DCE and straight through chopper cable. Straight through cable is a type of twisted pair chopper wire cable for local area network, which is LAN, used for which the RJ49 connector at each end have the same pinout, which in this case is from router to switch and switch to PC. Serial DCE was used just to build connection between router only. We also utilize the wireless connection to connect access point with PC wirelessly.
This is the step-by-step on the setup network. Step 1. Drag the devices that are required in the network such as routers, switches, and the end devices. Hence, arrange those devices according to intended topology, then rename all the devices according to its respective label that we set for our reference. Next is step 2. We will use serial DCE connection to connect R1 router with SKM. Step 2. We will use serial DCE connection to connect R1 router with FSKM building router and R1 router with admin building router. To use serial DCE connection, we need to add the interface card first. To provide two serial ports, double-click on the routers at the physical tab and then turn off the router first. Then add the HWIC2T high speed 1 interface card before moving on and then turn on the router back again. Next is step 3. Repeat step 2 for FSKM building router and admin building router. Next, connect the other connection by connecting cables. For connection of router to switches, switches to PC and the access point. We use copper straight cable through the cable of the figure below.
So I will be continuing the fourth step, which is to start to configure the devices by opening and accessing the command line interface from the devices. So we started off to configure the first router, which is R1. Before we begin to start to enter all the commands to configure the router, we need to turn on the router first by turning it on in the physical tab, and then we insert all the command in the CLI. So the command that we use to configure this router, the first router, which is R1, is the first one is enable to turn on the privilege command mode. and then we inserted configure terminal command to enter the global configuration mode. Next, we inserted hostname R1 to change the name, host name of the router, and then we inserted interface as 0/0/0 command to enter the interface. Next, we inserted command IP address 10.10.10.1 space 255.255.255.0 to set the IP address, also the subnet mask to the interface. Next, we inserted the command no shutdown to enable the interface, and we inserted the exit command to exit from the current interface that we are in right now. Next, we inserted the command interface as 0/0/1 to enter the next interface, which is as 0/0/1. And then we inserted the command IP address 20.20.20.1 space 255.255.255.0 to set the IP address and also the subnet mask to the interface. And we inserted no shutdown command to enable the interface. After that, we inserted the command exit to exit from the interface. Okay, next, we inserted the command IP root 192.168.10.0 space 255.255.255.0 space 10.10.10.2, and then we inserted another IP root command, which is IP root space 192.168.30.0 space 255.255.255.0 space 20.20. So I will be continuing the fourth step, which is to start to configure the devices by opening and accessing the command line interface from the devices. So we started off to configure the first router, which is next I will be explaining the fifth step, which is to configure the second router, which is FSKM building router. Same step, we need to turn on the router first in the physical tab, and then we insert the command one by one in the CLI. So the commands that we use to configure FSKM building router is basically same with the command that we use to configure R1 router. So the command that we use is enable to turn on privilege command mode, and then we inserted configure terminal command to enter global configuration mode. Next, we inserted hostname FSKM-building to change the name of the router. Then we inserted the command interface as 0/0/0 to enter the S0/0/0 interface. Next, we are in the interface configuration. So we inserted the next command, which is IP address 10.10.10.2 space 255.255.255.0 to set the IP address and also the subnet mask to the interface. And then we inserted another command, which is clock rate 64000 to set the speed of the interface. And then we inserted no shutdown command to enable the interface. After that, we configure the next interface by inserting the command interface F0/0 to enter the next interface. And then we inserted the command IP address 192.148.10.1 space 255.255.255.0 to set the interface and to set the IP address and also the subnet mask to the interface. And after that, we inserted the command no shutdown to enable the interface. Next, we inserted command exit to exit from the current interface that we are in right now. And then we insert the command IP DHCP pool FSKM. This command is used to create and configure a DHCP pool, which is a network protocol that enables a server to automatically assign an IP address to an IP-enabled devices from a defined range of numbers configured for a given network. And then we insert the command network 192.160.10.0 space 255.255.255.0 to set the network address for the DHCP pool. After that, next I will be explaining the fifth step, which is to configure the second router, which is FSKM building router. Same step, we need to turn on the router first in the physical tab, and then we insert the
Step 6. After that, configure the admin building router and then turn on the router in the physical tab. Then insert the following command in the CLR. Next is configure the access point. Click on the config tab and select port 1 under the interface section. Under the port status, name the SSID as FSKM and then select WPA2 PSK of authentication and create a password on PSK passphrase as ABC12345. Do the same things on the next access point, but change the SSID as admin. Next, connecting the PC to the access point by using Wi-Fi. First, open the PC setup and make sure that the PC using the Wi-Fi antenna WMP300N. Next, click the desktop tab and select the PC wireless and it will show the Wi-Fi page and go to the connect tab. Under the connect tab, it will automatically search for the available Wi-Fi connection and then just connect the Wi-Fi by using the password that had been set.
On the next part, I will presenting about step by step on process of sending a message. Step 9, to send the message between devices, we need to find the close mailbox icon at the hidden menu. Next, step 10. On this step, choose the devices you want to select. In this part, we select PC1 and PC3 to try the connection if it's successful or fails when we try to send the message and drag the mailbox icon on the selected devices. Next, step 11. At the right bottom corner of the screen, click the simulation button and the simulation panel will pop up top of it where we want to run the simulation. Next, step 12, run the simulation in the play control section and we can see that the simulation running on it. Next, step 13, after that, we could see at the bottom side of the interface where the status of the message is either in progress, success or failure. Finally, messages are successfully delivered between two devices, which is PC1 and PC3.
At the right bottom, the last status is in progress. So we'll be waiting for the message to resend back to the PC1 from PC4. So here, we'll see how the function of sending message work between PC1 and PC4. So here, the result is successful.
Ping to test the connection. Result of testing connectivity, ping. By using command prompt, we can test the connectivity between the network. Firstly, we go to desktop and choose command prompt and then insert ping, ping, and insert the IP address. So the result will show if the connection got replies or failed. From this, we can test the network connectivity. Network monitoring tools. First, we have Wireshark. Wireshark is an open source tool for profiling network traffic and analysis packets. Such equipment is frequently referred to as a sniffer, network analyzer, or network protocol analyzer. The traffic details can be examined using Wireshark, also known as Ethereal. at the range of levels from connection levels data to the individual packet builds. Wireshark display packet details in this area of the display to highlight how different elements of the frame can be classified, each belonging to the data link layer, network layer, transport layer, or application layer. Another popular open source network monitoring tools is Ichigato. It expands on the foundation Nagios core provided. You can enter your own parameter and monitor real-time performance data through the dashboard because it adaptable RESTful API. Because dashboard may be custom, you can select precisely what data you want to track in your network. Conclusion. At the conclusion of the project, we discover how to explain the theoretical idea and cutting-edge data, networking, and communication technologies, and talk about how societies need to adapt to the latest developments in data communication and network technologies. In this project, we will demonstrate our understanding of cable technologies, campus-to-campus communication, and internet connectivity. We must know which device to use and drag to the blank space on the logical topology and which cable to link between devices. We also learn how to connect a simple network, how to use command prompt, and how to find the IP address of the device from creating a simple network. We also learn how to utilize the packet tracer and how the internet is connected, which is one of the benefits we receive. Working in group has benefits and drawbacks, but we trust and listen to each other, we may find solution. We suggest enhancement so that additional team members can participate in the project and we can understand how to function as a team of more people.